Welcome to another hair dyeing video. The day has come for me to refresh my color. As you can see, it has really faded from where my roots are, and it's really like this, like right at my roots, it's a little bit brown. And then as we go on down further, it gets to kind of like a reddish color. And then as we get down to the parts that were previously bleached, then we get into this purple / blue, because it had gotten really, really red. And then I put this blue in, and then that kind of made it purple. So that is where we are at. I don't think it looks half bad, to be honest, but I'm going to press out my hair in a couple days, and I would just like it to be a little bit more refreshed before I do that. My plan is to wash it with this Pier clarifying shampoo. Technically, this is a color care system, so it probably won't strip it a whole ton, but it'll get a little bit of the extra color out so that as I prep my hair to recolor it here, it won't still have all the old pigment that I had before. I'm not trying to fade it, but that will be an effect of shampooing your hair, whether it's a system that strips the color more gently or whether it's a shampoo that just is super harsh on your color. The more you shampoo it, the more the color will come out. Also, I wanted to have a really clean canvas to start on because the color will stick best to really clean hair. And if it faded a little bit more of the blue back into the purple in the meantime, then that worked as well so that the dye pigments would stick a bit better, both on my processed and non-processed hair. After I go ahead and wash my hair here, I'm going to divide it into sections and let you know what we are doing next. We are back and ready to dye my hair. I have put Vaseline all around the sides as the instructions instruct, because this time I'm going to be using Arctic Fox. I have two different colors. This one's a little bit more red, which I'm going to be using on the ends, and this one's a little bit more blue, which I'm going to be using on the top. I probably will use up most of this. We'll see what happens, but I'm thinking I'll use up most of it. I also have my bowls to differentiate. The more red one's going to go in here, the more blue one is going to go in here, and then these little applicator brushes. I don't know how useful they'll be. I might end up just using my hands, for which purpose I have these gloves. You've seen these before. I've used these. They're very purple on the other times that I have dyed my hair. Now, one of the things that I did, since I am using the Arctic Fox and it's direct dye pigment and not a color conditioner, is they say to put it on dry hair. So I put a little teeny bit of leave-in conditioner in after I had shampooed it so that it would at least have some slip while I was sectioning it here. So I sat under the dryer for like an hour, and the idea is to get these dry enough that the dye will take. I'm under no illusions that it's going to be perfectly dry, but it should be dry enough for me to work with. They say starting from the back is easier when it comes to color, and you can see it's dry-ish, it's stretched, if I feel it against my face, it's damp. So it is dry enough to work with, but it's not sopping wet, and I can at least separate it and then go from there. I just feel like I gotta shake stuff up before I use it. This is the Violet Dream, which is the more red color. All right, I'm gonna put this much in to start with. I may need to use more. If I do, that's okay. Here is the more purple one. And this one is going to go on my roots. So this is what this one looks like. It's hard because it's in this pink box, so it looks lighter, but you can see that there's a difference in the color. I've got my first section, really not as clearly delineated on this back section. I can see this one part that was like highlighted is more purple, but I'm just gonna go about halfway down. So I think it would be better if I split this section in half again, and that's gonna give me more to work with. So just kind of keep it stretched like that. And then we're gonna start with the more purple one. Again, I'm wearing this purple shirt so that it doesn't cause issues. Then I'm gonna come in the back and do it from the back side. I really can't see what I'm painting on here. So I think I'm gonna just try feeling it. Okay, that feels pretty saturated. Feels good. So I'll do the darker with this hand, and then I get up to about here and take some in this hand and do the rest of it. There might be some overlap, but we'll see. Oh, okay, so this is this kind of like really pink purple, which is perfect because I did not want that at my roots. I definitely wanted the more blue purple at my roots and then the more pink purple on the bottom. So I think that's gonna work out, okay? Yes, it's getting on my ear. Yes, I did put Vaseline on my ear as well. All right, and that's basically the process. So I'm gonna go off camera here, and then I'm gonna come back and show you what it looks like when I'm all done here. Okay, so that's that so far. Okay, I did it. It is super saturated, super wet. I went through almost all of the really purple one and quite a bit of the Violet Dream, and then I just smeared whatever's left in the bowls all over my head. So I still have a little bit of the dye left, but it was definitely a good choice to get 2, because if I hadn't gotten 2, I don't know what would have happened. Now it is time to pile all this up on my head. Let me use a claw clip. See if I can get this all in the claw clip. Very good. I made sure that I detangled before I did this because I didn't want to be fighting through tangles on only shampooed hair, really not conditioned hair, before putting the color in. I am having a hard time tying this, so I'm just gonna put a clip and do the same for the back. Okay, so I have a little clip on the front, a little clip on the back. As you can see, it is kind of all over the place. I'm very tempted to do my eyebrows, but the directions specifically state do not put it on your face or around the eye area. So we're gonna leave that alone. I know people do it. I've done it with temporary color. I've done it with the color conditioner, but when it's something that's as pigmented as this, I just don't want to end up with just like purple skin. That wouldn't be super fun. As you can see, even though I'm wearing gloves, anywhere where I accidentally touched, it stained a bit. I am gonna clean up. The good thing is it's not drippy the way the conditioner was, so I don't see that it really dripped on the floor. I have a little bit on the plastic bags that I laid down, but as far as the actual floor and any of the walls and stuff like that, seems fine. If it would get anywhere, soft scrub will get it out just fine. And obviously soap and water will get the stuff off my skin. So I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. It really doesn't bother me too much because I know it is temporary. It is gonna come off. But now we are gonna let this sit in my hair. The instructions say at least 30 minutes, but given that I have a lot of virgin hair, I will leave it on a lot longer. I'm sure it's gonna take to the previously processed parts a lot better. They also said you can use heat for at least 15 minutes, so I am gonna pop back under the dryer for a little bit. I do not love using the hooded dryer. It's very, very loud. It's uncomfortable to sit under, and you can't relax while you're under there. I know some people can, but for me, it's something that is very inconvenient, and my hair never dries anyway under the hooded dryer. So as a method of drying my hair for a style, not very good. But for what I wanted to do for today, this worked out perfectly. I decided to do it this way because I could blow out my hair, but the way that this works, I'm not really supposed to put a lot of conditioner, and I didn't want to blow out my hair on hair that's not super conditioned, only shampooed. I didn't think that would be good for my hair. Plus, like I said, I'm planning to press out my hair, and again, I don't want to put heat on my hair a couple days right before I'm going to put more heat on my hair. So the indirect heat was a bit better. I did spray a tiny bit of heat protection. I'm never going to sit under the dryer with just nothing at all, but just a tiny bit of heat protection, just a couple spritz, and then sat under there. As you saw, it dried enough for me to do what I want. And now it is time to do the cleanup process. I forgot to mention that yes, I absolutely did do a patch test before using this new dye just to make sure I wasn't allergic to it. What I did was, as the instructions say, wipe off an area of my arm with rubbing alcohol, and then I put a little dot of the 2 different dyes on each one of my arms and let it set for the recommended amount of time, which was like 24 to 48 hours. So to make sure that it wasn't disturbed while that happened, I just put some little band-aids over it, and that worked out great. Here are the fresh results on my rinsed out hair. I rinsed for as long as I possibly could on freezing cold water, and it just got to the point where I'm like, okay, the water's running fairly clear and my scalp is freezing, so I have to stop now. And as you can see, I achieved a remarkably even result from root to tip. This looks almost exactly how it looked when I first got it done in salon back in the summer. So I am actually super happy with these results. I did go ahead and then style my hair into some French braids with some twists because I want to do a braid out later. And I did have a little more pigment running off in my hands, but as it air dries, I'm sure it will really lock in. And then I'm just going to do one more shampoo before I go ahead and straighten my hair, because of course when you straighten your hair you have to have it as clean as possible for that process as well, but it shouldn't strip out the dye too much, I don't think. I also just wanted to go ahead quickly and show the styling products I used for this braid out. The olive oil moisturizing lotion is to give my hair some thickness with the moisture, because if I just use the leave-in conditioner by itself, it's too light. So then after I put the lotion, then I put the leave-in conditioner, then I put the Bond Shield, which is kind of like this really slippery serum that I've really been enjoying recently. And that helps to just make my hair nice and slippery. And then I put a little bit of the almond and avocado honey curl forming custard in my hair. That also made it nice and slippery and will give me some hold so that when I come to do my braid out, my braid waves are going to look nice and defined. Here's what my hair looked like in a few different styles with the braids, and then turned into a braid out as I went along. And finally, what you've all been waiting for. 3, 2, 1. Isn't this color so pretty? I initially wanted to show it to you in the sunlight, but it appears the sun is not cooperating anymore, which is understandable given that it's winter. It's actually like 30 degrees right now and I am freezing, but that means it's perfect silk press season. So I do have some soft wave in from a braid I did, but I expect that will fall pretty soon. I'm not really trying to keep it that way, and that's totally fine. But yeah, these are the results of how it looks after it's straightened. It's so pretty. I was not sure that the color would take, but it's beautiful. From a distance, it's just like a dark color, and then you come in and you can see all these beautiful like purple hues just popping through. So happy, so excited, and my hair just looks so much better than it did the last time I straightened it. I've really been trying to take care of it, going on my healthy hair journey, and here we are. That is the end of this video. I'll catch you in the next one.